To understand the future of your money, we have to go back in time. Set the clock to June 1934. The United States government passes a law, the Silver Purchase Act. On the surface, it was to help American miners. In reality, it was an economic weapon of mass destruction aimed at one country, China. China was the only major nation still on the silver standard. By artificially spiking the global price of silver, the U.S. sucked the silver out of China like a vacuum. China's money supply vanished. Their economy collapsed. The government fell. It was the greatest wealth transfer of the 20th century. Now, fast forward to 2026. The exact same movie is playing again, but the roles are reversed. The price of silver is skyrocketing to $75, but this time the vacuum is in Beijing, and the victim is the US dollar. This isn't a market cycle. This is a 90-year grudge match. And the smart money knows that when history repeats, the payout is always bigger. Let's analyze the crime scene of 1934. The US raised the price of silver to $1.29, a huge number back then. Arbitrageurs bought silver in Shanghai for cheap and sold it to the US Treasury for a profit. China tried to stop it. They begged Washington to stop. The US ignored them. It's our domestic policy, they said. The result? China suffered massive deflation, then hyperinflation when they were forced to print fiat paper money to replace the silver. This chaos weakened the state and paved the way for World War II in Asia. The lesson China learned was simple. He who controls the physical metal controls the destiny of the nation. Paper money is a vulnerability. Physical reserves are sovereignty. They have remembered this lesson for 3 generations, and now they are applying it. Look at the flows today. In 1934, silver flowed east to west. In 2026, silver flows west to east. As we discussed in episode 016, the Shanghai Gold Exchange is paying a premium for silver. China is importing massive amounts, but unlike the US in 1934, China isn't just buying it for money. They are buying it for industry. 70% of silver is now industrial, episode 25. It goes into solar panels, EVs, and 5G towers. The West, US, Europe, needs this silver to build the green future. By cornering the market, China isn't just attacking the currency, they are choking the industrial capacity of the West. In 1934, the US bankrupted China by making their money too expensive. In 2026, China is bankrupting the US by making their future too expensive. Why doesn't the market fix this? Why don't miners just dig more? This is the inelastic supply trap. Most silver, 70%, is a byproduct of mining copper, lead, or zinc, episode 18. Miners can't just turn up the dial on silver. They have to mine more zinc to get more silver. If the world doesn't need zinc, the silver stays in the ground. Supply is stuck. But demand is exponential. Solar demand doubled in 10 years. EV demand is vertical. We have a market where supply is fixed, geology, and demand is infinite, technology plus hoarding. This is the perfect recipe for a super spike. When the price hit $75 in DEC 2025, it wasn't a bubble. It was the market realizing that there is no price high enough to create new supply overnight. The US government has finally realized the trap. They recently added silver to the critical minerals list. Why? Because they know they are vulnerable. In 1934, the US had billions of ounces. Today, the US strategic stockpile is 0. We consumed our advantage. We turned it into iPhones and threw them in the landfill. Episode 18. China, meanwhile, has been accumulating. This is the strategic pivot. Silver has moved from a monetary metal to a strategic weapon. The country that controls the silver controls the energy transition, solar, and the digital transition, AI chips. The smart money sees this as a national security trade. It's not just about inflation anymore. It's about survival. Let's zoom out to the macro picture. The silver war is just one battle in the larger war, de-dollarization. For 20 years, the US dollar's share of global reserves has dropped from 71% to 58%. China and the BRICS are building a parallel system, episode 22. They are building their own exchanges, their own payment rails, CPS, and their own reserves, gold, silver. They are creating a closed loop where they can trade resources without touching a dollar. If 2/3 of the world's trade happens outside the dollar crashes. And when the dollar crashes, what rises? Hard assets. The 1934 Silver Act destroyed the Chinese fiat currency. The 2026 silver squeeze is designed to destroy the American fiat currency. It is the ultimate karmic justice. So, is this just a coincidence? Is it just luck that the solar boom, the mining deficit, and the geopolitical tension all aligned in 2026? Or is it a grand strategy? The smart money doesn't believe in coincidences of this magnitude. They believe this is a 20-year plan executed with patience. China accumulated the gold. China built the solar factories. China secured the mining rights in Africa and South America. They built the trap, and then they waited for the U.S. to walk into it. The trap has snapped shut. Whether it's a conspiracy or just cycles, the result for your portfolio is the same. The price must go up. Let's summarize the investigation. History is repeating in reverse. The East is draining the West. The smart money playbook. 1. Respect the cycle. 90-year cycles are powerful. We are at the turning point, positioned for a multi-year bull market in commodities. 2. Watch the critical mineral news. If the U.S. bans exports or nationalizes mines, the price will go vertical. 3. Own the physical. In a trade war, paper contracts are the first casualty. 4. Be patient. Empires don't fall in a day. This is a volatility machine. Buy the dips, episode 19. The pendulum has swung back. This is the smart money wisdoms. The future belongs to the owners.